Hey everybody, Drew Dinkmeyer from Establish the Run here, doing a quick screencast on how to take advantage of some of the hidden rules in Yahoo seasonal fantasy football. And this is an edge I've been utilizing over the course of the last few years that I've seen JJ Zachariason from Numberfire tweet out a little bit about this year with regards to Yahoo. But Yahoo has an unusual thing with their free agent pool where it's not so unusual that you can still pick up players that haven't played, their game hasn't started during the course of the week. So this is being recorded on a Monday after all the Sunday games have been finished, and there's still one football game left, the Jets and the Patriots tonight. And Jets and Patriots players are still available to pick up in free agency. But the thing that's unusual about Yahoo is you can still actually drop players that have played that you didn't utilize in your bench spots. And as a result, you can free roll the kicker position almost every week in seasonal fantasy football. And this is something that I do. So after yesterday's games, I was up 8.5 points here, and my opponent still had the New England defense. I, at this point, did not have a kicker, but I've since added a kicker. I'll show you that in the transactions log that you can see. I went and added the Patriots kicker tonight. And I checked before the Sunday night game as well to make sure that there was a Sunday night kicker, if there was a Sunday night kicker available, to make a decision there, because my opponent didn't have a Sunday night player. But you can see I added, after the Sunday night game last night, Nick Folk for Jordan Wilkins. So basically what I was able to do by not adding the kicker, whatever kicker I wanted to use during the course of the week, by not adding them and playing them on Sunday, I was able to free roll this Jordan Wilkins roster position. It could have been Jordan Wilkins, it could have been Giovanni Bernard. I was kind of debating between dropping those two. But the idea is, if I had picked up Nick Folk on Friday, and let's say on Sunday's game, Jonathan Taylor got injured, and Jordan Wilkins was looking like, hey, he might be a feature back going forward. Well, I wouldn't want to drop Jordan Wilkins in that scenario, but I had already dropped him on Friday. And by being able to kind of free roll this kicker spot during the course of the week, I can make a decision on whether I want to hold that player or not. So for example, if in this matchup this week, if I was up by 25 points going into the final night and my opponent had the defense left, I would probably not even pick up a kicker, and I would have held on to Jordan Wilkins, knowing that I probably don't need those kicker points to win this matchup. Now, during the course of the season, you might sacrifice some points that come into play in terms of tiebreakers in your league, but generally, by keeping the extra roster spot flexibility and free rolling that position, you'll end up having someone on your roster that's a little bit more useful down the road, and you'll be more able to take advantage of injury situations that just kind of work in your favor. Now, some leagues that have waivers completely open, it can be a mad dash on Sundays when players get hurt to go pick up their backups and different things like that. But even in the leagues that lock players as their games start, there's edge to be had by being able to manipulate your roster at the end of the week. And so because you can drop some of these guys, you can always free roll their performance on Sunday, see how they do, and then add somebody on Sunday night or Monday that either plays in the Sunday night game or the Monday night game or has a bye week. And you'll see in the transactions log, actually, one of my opponents actually did this as well. And one of my league mates picked up the Philadelphia defense on Sunday or on Monday morning. And that's because Philadelphia has a good matchup next week that they're looking forward to. They were on waivers this week because they had a bye, and they added this player. They probably, since they didn't drop anyone, they probably moved someone to the IR spot. Which created the ability to have another roster spot, which is another thing that I don't happen to have anybody on IR. But if you had a bench player that was questionable all week long and they get ruled out on Sunday morning, IR for Yahoo leagues, the IR spot, is available to players who are just ruled out for a game and not actually on IR. So there's these hidden things that you can take advantage of to just make sure that you're creating yourself an extra roster spot. And basically you can end up when you have somebody who's hurt, who's not playing, you can end up kind of free rolling 2 spots during the course of the week. So for example, when I cut Jordan Wilkins last night, if this was a few weeks ago, and let's say Jalen Reagor was available in free agency and on IR, I could have added him, slid him to IR, and then still had an extra roster spot to go add a kicker. And these end of roster situations to be able to kind of manipulate due to the hidden rules of Yahoo and when you can drop players is something that does create a little bit of an additional edge each and every week. So many weeks during the course of the NFL season, in my fantasy league, my hometown fantasy league, I actually will not play a kicker if I have enough points where the matchup is decided one way or the other. If my opponent's beating me by 30 or 40 and my only spot left is a kicker, I will not use the kicker that week, and I will free roll that for another week going forward. This is totally legal and allowable in Yahoo leagues. You can play without fielding a full roster. If my 8 guys or 9 guys versus my opponent can outscore them without the kicker, sometimes I don't pick up the kicker, and I free roll that extra skill position player, which I usually use on backup running backs. You can see here I've got Giovanni Bernard, and I had Jordan Wilkins and Cam Akers and Alexander Madison, because if the player in front of them gets injured, their value skyrockets immediately, as we saw with Chase Edmonds a few weeks ago. So that's my tip on how to take advantage of some of the hidden rules in Yahoo seasonal fantasy leagues. Hopefully it helps you take advantage of the system and get that trophy against your league mates and your friends in your home league. So best of luck out there. Use those rules to your advantage where you can, and go out and get that championship. Take care, everybody.